Hello, welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Don't forget to subscribe. About 95% of you are not subscribed to the channel. What are you doing? Hit that sub, hit that bell, join me on here. Thank you to everyone who has joined me already. I really couldn't do this without you. Several days ago now, Russell T Davies did an interview for Radio 4, and I was trying to look for a transcript of that interview. I couldn't find it anywhere, so I jumped on over to Doctor Who TV. Now, we will get to that in a minute. Make sure that you do stick around. So I was actually talking about this on the Sensesphere the other day, and it was very interesting news. I wanted to cover it a couple of days ago, but I couldn't because I had other videos planned. But it certainly seems to me that Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies can't actually make up his mind about what's going on with the show. We know that he's been penning a season 3 or series 3, whatever you want to call it, because they keep changing it. But he officially hasn't actually got the green light as of yet. Now we're going to take a look now at the Doctor Who TV article. RTD, a fool would doubt Doctor Who's future but admits BBC is still non-committal. Well, that tells you a lot already. I did theorize earlier on in the year that if Disney were to actually pull their funding, then I don't actually think that the BBC would continue with Doctor Who. They were looking at cancelling it after the Jodie Whittaker run, if you remember correctly. But then they decided to bring back Russell T Davies, and that's how we ended up with the 3 specials and the abomination that we've got for the last series. Now, I actually think it is high time that we should actually get rid of showrunners and go back to having a lead producer with guest writers coming in and doing the writing for him. That way you get many more creative ideas, and he can make sure that everything is consistent throughout the entire series. Sometimes I actually think the role of the showrunner takes on too much. He writes almost everything. He's also got to see over the entire production of absolutely everything. And that's not easy, especially when you've got to write the episodes as well. But it gets more interesting. Russell T Davies has reiterated that Doctor Who's immediate future beyond 2025 remains uncertain, yet he declared a fool would doubt Doctor Who's future. That must make me and loads of other people fools then. Speaking on Radio 4's Today programme, Davies said the BBC has not yet committed to a 3rd series featuring Ncuti Gatwa. The decision on whether to move forward will depend on network's evaluation following Series 15 in 2025. We don't know if there's a 3rd series yet. Series 15 will go out in 2025 and then they'll decide it. The BBC will decide as well its future. But I'm happy to stay with it. I love it. It's more fun than anything else, he said. He's basically just told us that the BBC have not made any decision whatsoever. For all we knew earlier on in the year, even though I have actually said that I don't think that the BBC will commit to a next series if Disney pull out, that the BBC were waiting for Disney to give the green light, but they may have already given the green light themselves. But he's just told you they haven't actually decided yet, which means that money is going to be the main crux of the issue, which actually makes sense because it's the main crux of any. Davies also reflected on the co-production deal with Disney+. It's been a lovely experiment. We've had a great time, Davies said. Interesting choice of words there. Did you notice? He said experiment. I didn't think this was an experiment. I thought that Disney had bought 2 series and a spin-off. So they've bought 22 episodes, which I believe is actually a standard output for Disney. And American series tend to be a lot longer than our series here. Sorry if I'm a bit throaty, but I didn't think that it was actually an experiment. I thought that they were coming in, they were funding it, and then going from there. But of course, what Disney Plus also need to make sure that they are looking at is the fact that they are also getting the subscriptions to the streaming service. Their streaming service takes a massive hit. Movies have failed on their streaming services, so they have no choice but to go back to the cinema. So now they are really reliant on the TV series doing well and pulling in the subscriptions. It's one of the reasons why things like The Acolyte got cancelled. It didn't pull in the subscriptions. It spent way too much money. And it could potentially be the same here for Doctor Who. The use of experiment and has fueled speculation that the Disney partnership could be ending after next year, which aligns with the Deadline article from earlier in 2024. Well, we all use had in different contexts. It could just be that he was talking about the past series, just to actually give him the benefit of the doubt here. It could just literally be that. He was talking about the last 2 series that they spent time filming. They had fun doing it. We all talk that way. Using the word had doesn't actually say that the series has been cancelled. The word experiment is a different thing though, I think. And I would say that the non-committal stance from the BBC is also something that we should be wary of. But I also think that the series needs to be rested anyway. However, despite all uncertainties, Davies expressed confidence in the resilience of Doctor Who as a franchise. It's a fool who doubts Doctor Who's future. I think it's like 61 this year, and yes, it would have found some different shape, some different form. There is a version that could go out late at night on BBC Three. I wondered if Davies wanted to actually write a 14th Doctor spin-off, but that got canned. The BBC are non-committal. Russell T Davies is talking about an experiment with Disney. I think it's telling us what we need to know. But let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't chat about it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.